Mr. Griffith, who had so much to do with some of the extraordinary changes in this rule package. So I yield to the gentleman.
Gentleman from West Virginia is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Virginia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I come to talk today about getting back to the basics. This place has, in fact, been broken, and a number of the rules that we worked on were to bring authority back and bring us back to the principles of Jefferson's parliamentary practice and procedure, his manual on that. So I would say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that we should look at that document for what its principles stand for. And what it stands for is, and it says right in the preamble, for some of the most familiar, Jefferson writes, for some of the most familiar and experienced members, referencing their members of Parliament, because that's what he based it upon, that nothing tended more to throw power into the hands of administration and those who acted with the majority in the House of Commons than neglect or departure from rules of proceedings, that these forms, as instituted by our ancestors, operate as a check and control on the actions of the majority, and they were in many instances a shelter and protection to the minority against the attempts of power. So when I go out there, Mr. Speaker, and ask that we change these rules to make sure that we have rules that help protect all members, including the minority members, you can imagine my surprise and shock today when I hear that they are opposed to rules that do some very basic things that the American people are going to be shocked that we don't already do, such as a single purpose, that you cannot introduce a bill that doesn't have a single purpose or theme to that bill. Now, it can be complicated, but it has to have an overarching theme, something that this bill is attempting to do right from the get-go, the sole purpose rule. And then there's the germaneness and coming up with a stricter germaneness interpretation, Mr. Speaker. And as we know, that also helps so that you don't end up happening like what we had happen last summer, where somebody introduces a bill to mint a commemorative coin and it turns into the Inflation Reduction Act. That's absolutely ridiculous. Hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of pages came out of a one-paragraph bill. No, that's wrong. And this allows us, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, this allows us more power to say no on the floor by the individual members.
Yield the gentleman an additional 30 seconds.
Gentleman is recognized for an additional 30 seconds.
I appreciate the gentleman yielding me that additional time. As you can tell, I get fired up about these issues. But the bottom line is this rules package is the best rules package of either party in a number of years, because instead of worrying about what might happen next week, this rules package worries about the future of the United States Congress. And it's a good package, and I wholeheartedly support it and yield back.
Gentleman from Massachusetts.